Hi, welcome to Software Education. In this today video lecture, we will solve some of the questions which was asked in APSET 2019 Computer Science question paper. In the previous video, we have solved some of the questions, that is starting from the question number 2 to 10. And in this video lecture, we will try to solve the questions starting from the question number 11 to 20. Now see the first question, the question number 11. Which of the following is true? It has given the four options. Option number A, machine learning requires label or structured, and deep learning requires label or unstructured data. Option B, machine learning required structured data and deep learning rely on layer of neural networks. Option number C, machine learning required labeled data and deep learning required unlabeled data. Option number D, machine learning rely on the layer of neural networks and deep learning required structured data. If you observe here, in this question, he is make the comparisons in between the machine learning and the deep learning. That is in the concept of what type of data the machine learning supports and what is an deep learning. Okay, so actually, what is in deep learning? So deep learning means it is nothing but how a human being can take the decision. Okay, for example, say that the study of a human brains is called as a neural networks. Neural networks which can describe how the human being brain can be work. It means that, for example, if a human being want to take any decision, okay, so if how can take the decisions in by using the brain. So when taking the decisions, how the brain can be activated, how the human brain can be uh, think. Okay, so this thinking mechanisms is represented by the neural network. It means that neural network is a study of the human brains, and the deep learning is the simulation of the neural networks. Okay, so it means that if we ask the machine to take the decision, then at the time the deep learning machines can think like that, same as the human beings can be think. Okay, so it means that the simulation of a human brain's thinking is nothing but the deep learnings. Okay, so that in this among the four options, only the option B contains the exact definition of a deep learning, that is a deep learning rely on layer of the neural networks. Okay, so now actually the deep learning, the machine learnings are the two functionalities of an artificial intelligence. It means that, see the diagram here for a better understanding. Here see that the deep learning is a subset of the machine learning, and the machine learning is a subset of the artificial intelligence. It means that artificial intelligence contains the primary two functionalities. One is the machine learning, next one is the deep learning. Okay, so now in these four options, the machine learning, he has given the informations about the machine learning with the different types of data. Actually, there are two types of data. Okay, what are the two types of data? That is called as a labeled data, and next one is a unlabeled data. For example, see this chart, you can easily understood what is these things. See that machine learning supports the three types of learnings. One is a supervised learning, and next one is unsupervised learning, and third one is a reinforcement learning. Under the supervised learning, that is a supervised learning is deals the data with the label, unsupervised learning deals the data without labels. Okay, and reinforcement learning deals with the states and the models. Now see that what is the meaning of data without with labels and data without the labels? Data with label means, so if the data have the labels, that is, for example, if you have the values 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, it is only the data. If if this data contains the label, for example, the label name is employees. Under the employees, if you write the values, that is a 40, 50, 60, then you can be easily said that the age of a first person is 40, the age of a second person is the 50, the age of a third person is 60, 70, and so on. Because of, how can we saying, because of above of this data you have the label, that is employees. So this type of data, that is this type of label data, is comes under the supervised learning. Okay, but in the case of unsupervised learning, we doesn't have any labels. Okay, for example, that is the label, that is employees is not be there here, it contains only the data. Okay, so this only the data is related to the unsupervised learning. So here the machine learning supports different types of learning, and each of the learning have its own functionality. That is, supervised is deals with the data with labels, unsupervised deals with the data without labels. Okay, based on this concept, this questions is given here. As well as, you know that data is a, there are different types of data is there. That is, we have the structured data, we have a unstructured data, and we have a semi-structured data, right? So this structured data contains both the data with label as well as data without the label. It means a structured data means which contains, it is a container, that is a structured data is a containers which contains the data with labels as well as data without the labels. So that now see the options. In the option number B, saying that the machine learning requires the structured data and deep learning rely on the layer of neural networks. So it is the right answer because of deep learning is based on the neural networks as well as the machine learning is requires the structured data. The data is maybe of a labeled data or it may be of a unlabeled data. Now see the option number D, which is saying that machine learning rely on the layer of neural networks and deep learning requires the structured data. It is a wrong option because of machine learning does not be rely on the neural networks. Okay, deep learning is rely on the neural networks but not the machine learning. Okay, so that here in this question the option number B is the right answer. Now see the next question, question number 12. Which of the following is true? Okay, he has given the three statements. Statement 1, all supervised learning algorithms are machine learning algorithms. Statement number 2, all supervised and unsupervised algorithms are machine learning algorithms. Statement number 3, clustering is a unsupervised learning algorithm. Okay, so this concept, if you want to solve this question, first of all you have to see this chart which contains the different types of learnings. That is the same chart what we see in the previous question. So see that the same chart once again. Okay, so see that statement 1, what is saying there? Statement 1 is saying that all supervised learning algorithms are machine learning algorithms. See there supervised learning algorithms. What are the algorithms under supervised learning? There is the classifications and the regressions. And the classifications are the different types of algorithms. We have that logistic regressions, Navi-Bayes and k-nearest neighbors, support vector machines and so on. Okay, under the regressions and the linear regressions, and after that we have that ridge regressions and the ordinary least squares and so on is there. Okay, it means that here all supervised learning is comes under the machine learning. So that here the statement number 1 is the right one. And see the statement number 2, all supervised and unsupervised algorithms are the machine learning algorithms. Yes, it is true because of the supervised learnings as well as the unsupervised learnings is comes under the machine learning. So that statement 2 is also be the right one. And see the statement number 3, clustering is a unsupervised learning. So where is the clustering here? So here there is a clustering here. Okay, so clustering is a unsupervised learning. This comes under the category of unsupervised learning. So that here the statement number 3 is also be the right one. So that here in this one statement 1, 2 and 3 are the right. So that here the option number D is a right answer. As well as it is also important that you have to be note that under the supervised learnings what are the algorithms can becomes, that is classifications and regressions and optimization. As well as you have to note that under the unsupervised learnings what are the different types of algorithms, that is the clustering techniques are there, association analysis are there, and then dimensional reductions are there. After that the recommender systems, the feature analysis, the sentiment analysis comes under the unsupervised learnings. And under the reinforcement learnings we have a model free and next one is a model based. So based on this also so many of questions which was asked in a UGC NET computer science as well as the IP set computer science examinations. Okay, so now see the next question, the question number 13, match the following. He has given the table. So here we have that left side the decision making, acquisition of knowledge or skills. Option number C, generate the rule from the large volume of data, and D, improve the accuracy. On the right hand side, machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning, and the data mining is there. Okay, see that here the decision making is related to the data mining. Okay, so for example see that open the pen. Okay, so this decision making is related to the data mining concept, and the acquisition of knowledge or skill, it is related to that deep learning, because of the deep learning requires the more data and more knowledge, more skills than the machine learning as well as the than the machine learning. Okay, and generate the rule from the large volume of data, it is related to that artificial intelligence, and improve the accuracy is the machine learning. Okay, why the improve the accuracy of machine learning? Because of in the machine learnings can be work on the data. Okay, the data is a unlabeled data or it may be of a labeled data. Okay, By using the data, it can develop the model. Okay, so if for the models we have to give the input and the model can generate the output. Okay, if the models does not give the correct output, then the machine learning can be try to develop their model with the accuracy. Okay, for example, see that this chart you can get the simple understanding. Okay, see that in this chart, okay, I have a plenty of data. Okay, I have a data set here. So how many of data is that is about the data for the bank customer. Okay, bank customer wants to take the loan. So at the time we have to see the that bank customer information, whether the customer is taken the bank loan in the previous in the past one. So if he taken the loan, then what is his status? He is a good customer or he a bad debt. Okay, so in the case of bad debt, the bank does not issue the loan to that person. Okay, so this is a complete data, that is we have that user ID and the gender, married, the depositor, education and self-employed, applications and so on data is there. And finally we have a loan status. Loan status law we have that the Y stand for yes and N stand for the no. Yes means it means that loan was approved, N means the loan was rejected. Okay, so we have to give this complete data set. All this data we have to give to the machine. Machine can be learned by seeing this data, that is how why for which purpose here the loan was granted, and which purpose here the loan was rejected, and which purpose the loan was granted here, and which purpose the loan was rejected, so that machine can understood. Okay, the machine itself can understood that why here the yes or no is came here as an output. Okay, so once you give all this data to the machine can be understood all these things, and he can develop one classifier that is called as a model. Okay, it builds a one model. Okay, so now we are giving the new data here. This is a new data, that is the new data here, that is this data we are submitting to the classifier. Now the classifier can give the result, what is the value here, that is y or n. Here the machine is given the n means the loan was rejected. Okay, so if it give the value as y, it means that loan was granted, right? So assume that uh, if the machine was given the wrong answer, actually it gives us the n, but actual value is the y. Okay, analyze that actually it was y has to be displayed, but it was the n. So it means that here the classifier is not be the good one. It has to be developed. It had to improve itself. Okay, for the accuracy. So that here the machine can itself can improve the accuracy. Okay, so that have a capability for the machine learning. So that here improve the accuracy means the system, the machine learning itself can improve its models and give the accurate results. So that improve the accuracy is one of the best feature of the machine learning. Okay, so here the answer for this one is that these things. Okay, so that is a is related to the 4, that is a is related to 4, so that here only one choice is there, that is option number B. So that here option number C is a right answer. And see the next question here, the question number 14. The following is a clustering technique. Okay, so here also it depends on the same chart what we discussed in the previous class, in the previous question. So now see the once again the same chart here. So that is under the clustering technique, that is under the unsupervised learning we have a clustering. Under the clustering, what type of techniques we have? We have that k-means and k-means, and then hierarchical clusterings, and then expectation maximizations, and so on is there. So that hierarchical is comes under the clustering, as well as the k-means is also comes under the clustering, as well as the c-means. C-means is also the comes under the clustering techniques. So that these three belongs to the under the clustering. So that here the option number D, A, B, and C are the correct, is the right answer. Now see the next question, the question number 15. Artificial intelligence has its expansion in the following applications. Option number A, medical diagnosis. Option number B, planning diagnosis. Option number C, automobile industry. So he is asking about that what are the applications of artificial intelligence. So all these are the applications of artificial intelligence. So that option number D is a right answer. Now see the next question, the question number 16. Which of the following method is suitable for traveling salesman problem? So this is a question is came from the artificial intelligence, that is DA paper, that is a design and analysis. Okay, algorithm design analysis of algorithms. So he's asking about that traveling salesperson problem is belongs to which type of methods. That is option number A, divide and conquer. Option number B, branch and bond. Option number C, greedy method. Option number D, cutting edge method. Okay, so to solve the traveling salesman problem, actually what is this problem here? That is the traveling person has to move from starting state to the goal state. So there are different paths are there. He has to be choose that the best path which can give the shortest distance. Okay, so this type of problem can be solved by using that branch and bond method as well as the dynamic programming. Okay, there are two types of techniques are there to solve this problem. One is the dynamic programming, next one is the branch and bond. So here the branch and bond is given, so that here the option number B is a right one, not the divide and conquer, not the greedy and the cutting edge methods. Next one, question number 17. Heuristic function h of n is four options. Option number A, minimum cost path. Option B, cheapest path from the root to the target node. Option number C, optimal cost path. Option number D, estimated cost of cheapest path from the root to target node. Okay, so see that here heuristic. What's the meaning of heuristic? It is a question from the artificial intelligence. Heuristic means it is an estimation. Okay, estimated value. Okay, heuristic function is represented with the h of n. Okay, so heuristic means estimated, so that among these four options, option number D, which contains estimated cost. What it estimate? It estimate the cheapest cost from root to the target node. So that here option number D is an right answer. Next one, question number 18. The decompositions or reduction generates the arcs that we call dash arcs. Option number A R, option number B and R, option number C and option number D, that is called as XOR. Okay, so this is also the questions came from the artificial intelligence concepts. Okay, so here the answer for this question is that and. Okay, why means, for example, see that here is one of the techniques to solve the problems here. So here assume that, for example, it is under a graph. Okay, so here our goal is that acquire the TV set. Okay, to acquire the TV sets we have two types of ways are there. That is, we have either we can steal the TV set from the shop, or we can earn some money and then we can buy the TV set. Okay, among these two options, among these two ways, we can choose any one. Which is the best one? That is, the best one is that earn some money and then buy the TV set, not to steal the TV set. Now see that here question is asking about that what is that arc? That arc, see that here there is an arc here. Okay, in this red line there is an arc here. This arc is called as an AND arc. Okay, that is, we have to earn some money and then we have to buy the TV set. Okay, these two actions we have to perform to purchase the TV. So that this arc is called as the AND arc. Okay, not the OR, not the AND OR, not the XOR. The answer for this question is AND. Now see the next question. The question number 19. Different knowledge representations properties does not include. Option number A, inferential adequacy. Option number B, inferential efficiency. Option C, acquisition efficiency. Option D, introduction. Okay, this is question is also come from the artificial intelligence concepts. He is asking about that what are the different types of properties of the knowledge for the good knowledge. Okay, there are four types of properties for the good knowledge. Okay, what are the properties? Representation adequacy, inferential adequacy, inferential efficiency, acquisition efficiency. These are the four properties for the good knowledge representation. So here the introduction is not with the good properties for the good knowledge representation, so that here option number D is an right answer. Now see that what is the meaning of this representational adequacy. Representational adequacy is saying that the system should have the ability to representing all types of knowledge, procedural, factual knowledge and so on. What it means that in artificial intelligence the different types of knowledge are there. Okay, the expert systems can learn all this knowledge. So if we want to do anything, we must require the knowledge. Based on the knowledge we can take any action. Okay, so here that knowledge are of different types. That is a structural knowledge, procedural knowledge, and we have a factual knowledge and so on. Knowledge is there. Okay, if the system contains all these knowledges, okay, if we feed all these knowledges into the system, that system is called as an representational adequacy. And what is the inferential adequacy? System should have the ability to infer or or deduce the new knowledge from the old one. Okay, so what it means that the system is already have the some knowledge, and based on the existing knowledge the system has to generate the new knowledge. Okay, the system has to create the new knowledge based on the existing knowledge, then it is called as a inferential adequacy. And next one is that inferential efficiency, ability to focus inferential mechanisms in most promising directions to achieve the better results. So the system have the knowledge, as well as the system must have a ability how to use this knowledge in order to solve a particular problems. Okay, so what is the best way to use this knowledge in solving the problem? That best way must be contains the system, then that system is called as a good expert system. So that type of thing is called as inferential efficiency. And last one, acquisitional efficiency, ability to acquire the new information easily. It means that the system have a capability to learn the new things. Okay, so then that system is called as the acquisition efficiency. These are the 4 properties for the good knowledge representations. Okay, so among these 4 options, introduction is not the good property. So that here the answer for this question is that option number D. Now see the last question, question number 20. Dash is the production systems in which the application of a rule never prevents the later application of another rule that could also have been applied at the time first rule was selected. Has given the 4 options. Option number A, non-monotonic system. Option B, monotonic systems. Option C, partially commutative production. Option D, non-commutative production systems. Okay, so actually what the question is, that the question is saying about that the monotonic systems and non-monotonic systems. Okay, not the option C, option D, both are the wrong options. Only the answer is came from the either option A or the option B. Okay, so for example, to discuss this one, we have the 2 types of the reasoning systems. One is a monotonic reasoning system, next one is a non-monotonic reasoning system is there. Okay, for example, what is a monotonic system means? Monotonic system means, for example, these are the systems which can take the decisions based on the existing knowledge. Okay, based on the existing knowledge, these systems can take the decisions, and after taking the decision, if the new knowledge is added to the existing system, okay, at the time our previous decision which was taken before, the decision may be wrong. In the case of our decision is wrong, we can't able to change the decision. That type of system is called as a monotonic system. Okay, in the case of non-monotonic system, what would happen that we have taken the decision based on the knowledge, and after taking the decision we have to add the new knowledge to the system. So by adding the new knowledge, if our decision is wrong, then we can change our decision. Okay, so that type of system is called as a non-monotonic system. Okay, what I'm saying that in non-monotonic systems we can change the previous decisions also by which was affected by the newly added knowledge. But in the case of monotonic systems, we never change the decision. Okay, so for example, see that I have a knowledge. The knowledge is that birds fly, and second one is that penguin cannot fly. Tweety is a bird. Okay, so by using this knowledge, our system is taking the decision that is Tweety can fly. Okay, so that is the birds fly, and Tweety is a bird. It means that bird is fly, Tweety is a bird. It means that here the Tweety can also be fly. So the system has taken decision like that. But after that, assume that we have added a new knowledge for this one. That new knowledge is called as, assume that we added a new knowledge. That knowledge is a Tweety is a penguin. So when the Tweety is a penguin, it means that the Tweety cannot be fly, but the system is already taken the decision Tweety can fly. Okay, if the system is not able to change the decision, previous decision, then that system is called as a monotonic. Okay, so now if the system can change the decision, then that system is called as a non-monotonic. So that here our question is that in which system, the production systems in which the application of a rule never prevents the later application of another rule that also have been applied at that time first rule was selected. So never prevents means so that we not able to change the taken decision. So that here the option number B is a right answer, that is a monotonic system.